So, video game expenditure credit. So this was the new scheme which was brought in. Essentially, it is going to replace the old VGTR scheme. So I mentioned it obviously is finishing at March 2027. When this one is going to continue, which is I think it was great news because obviously when the UK left the EU, we always see uncertainty around for a number of video games clients is what going to happen to this tax scheme because it was a European tax scheme, the VGTR, so that's why it was EEA spend for the relevant expenditure. So it's good news that the HMRC and the government continue to support video games, and they are carrying on this sort of tax incentive scheme for video game developers. And what they came up with was the video game expenditure credit. So this has come into effect from 1st of January 2024. I've put the transitional period. So there might be a scenario where you've got an accounting period, say to 30th of June 2024. You might decide to switch between VGTR and VGEC. So you can only claim VGEC on expenditure from 1st of January onwards. So you might have a case where you have 6 months claim on VGTR and the 6-month claim under VGEC if that's the more beneficial scheme for you. So that's might not be so relevant now, but you can go back and make prior year claims as well. So it's something to be aware of. You might have a transition period. As I say, only expenditure from 1st of January 2024 will be eligible for this new scheme. So ultimately, how does this scheme work? So it's very similar to how VGTR works. You're looking at the 80% threshold again of total core expenditure. But rather than EEA spend, you're looking at actual UK spend. So they've replaced the EEA with the UK spend, which sort of makes sense in what they're doing because because of Brexit, they left the European Union, trying to promote UK businesses and UK employees. And the way to do that is obviously to try and encourage video game developers to look in-house at, staff available here and talent available here rather than overseas. It's not always practical to do that, depending on the talent pool that are available in the UK. But yeah, so they're trying to promote UK businesses. And what you receive for that is a payable tax credit of 34%. Now, on the face of it, it looks fantastic. 34% over 25%. This scheme's easily better than the last one. But it doesn't quite work the same because this taxable credit of 34% is a taxable income amount. The previous VGTR credit, where they paid you 25%, that was an after-tax tax credit. So there was no tax due on that credit you received. This one works slightly differently. So this is a before tax credit. So that 34% tax credit that you receive is going to be chargeable to corporation tax. If you're a loss-making business, what they essentially do is they take away a 25% notional tax credit. So you ultimately receive 75% of the tax credit overall. And so it results in a net credit receivable of 20.4%. So the last one was 20% net credit. This one's 20.4%. So it's very similar. It works out more or less all the same. The reason they brought this in was to try and balance out the effect of the credit compared with profit-making businesses and loss-making businesses. So either way, they will all receive the same tax credit, or this 20.4% tax credit from it. So yeah, it's still very similar, but the main difference to focus on is the UK spend rather than the European spend. My last point on that is to say they abolished the subcontractor cap. So if you are working with UK contractors, it's good news for you because that £1 million subcontractor cap has been removed. So you don't have to worry about that anymore and being limited with that.